Hey, what is up? It's Jim, and I'm back with another Tiller tip. And this week, we're talking about stress. Have you ever been stressed before? Well, of course you have. Like, what a dumb question. It's like too obvious to even ask. But I'm going to make one more bold prediction. The prediction is that you did not enjoy it, right? Am I right? Of course I'm right. Yeah, stress is hard, but I think it's real. I think it is a narrative of a sin-filled and broken world. And as much as we don't like it, I think we gotta understand that it is a reality. And why I'm thinking about this is earlier this week, I was meeting with a guy who was just experiencing a lot of stress that was happening about like things right now, but also what was about to happen. Like there was a lot of reason for him to be stressed, and it made sense to me. No big deal. And often as like these guys are talking, I'm doing this thing called duck prayer. If you don't know about duck prayer, check out the old Tiller tip because it is everything for me. God brought a memory to mind in the midst of this. I'm very much listening to him, but also God's giving me this memory, something I haven't thought of in at least 25 years. I mean, I'm that old, guys. Okay. So, my dad was an elevator guy. I've been talking about him a lot recently, and I'm not totally sure why. Just a lot of memories are coming to mind. And this one memory was about, me being in later high school and in college. And I would help him on elevator jobs, like over spring break, summer break. I would go and be an extra set of hands, in this case, an extra set of eyes. I didn't know what I was doing. He had to be very instructive, but I was helpful and he paid well. Okay, that was great. Okay. Just for the record, new builds of elevator is the most terrifying thing of all time. Okay. All you have is a blank elevator shaft, and then you got to get all of that stuff built to get the elevator going. The scariest part to me was the rails, hanging rails. That's something I've done. Can you even believe that? I was telling this guy about it. He's like, well, like, how high was the elevator? I'm like, probably 12, 14 stops. And he's like, well, that's floors or like levels. But when you're an elevator guy, like I am, right, you call them stops. And yes, this is a pretty big elevator. And we like got these, rails hung, and they've got to be straight. They've got to be level. They got to be true. And I've repressed a lot of that, but I've done that, guys. Can you believe that? I can't believe it. It's crazy. So we do new builds. We would do modernizing of elevators. That's remodeling and reconfiguring, getting it up to the current code and stuff. And anytime you built a new elevator or modernized one, before you handed the elevator off to the building, you had to go through an inspection. An inspection was a big deal. There was an elevator inspector in town, and he was hard to schedule, okay? Either because he was too busy or he wanted you to think he was too busy, right? And so either way, you wanted to make sure that you were ready for the inspection. And he was going to put the elevator through all kinds of tests. And so really sound advice to do that for yourself. So we would put our elevators through what is called a stress test, okay? We would load up the elevator with all these weights, all these little weights, and get it to 1,200, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500 pounds. I don't even remember. It's all based on, what the rating of the elevator is. And so you'd fill up the weight in the elevator, and then you'd take it through a series of tests. Take it from the ground floor to the top floor to the third floor to the 11th floor, like just all this stuff. And what you were looking for was like, does the elevator have any malfunctions? Like, obviously you want to watch for that, but also like when the elevator doors open, is the elevator level with the floor? Is there a gap of an inch or two? could be really disastrous. You're probably not falling into the elevator shaft, but you could trip and seriously hurt yourself. Like, that cannot happen, right? There should be self-leveling technology. Is the elevator, if it does come up short, is it realizing and then like recalibrating and getting the elevator to level? Like, you need to put your elevator through a stress test because the inspector's going to do all of that and he's going to pay close attention. So here's the Tiller tip, okay? When you're in the middle of a stress test, it's probably wise advice to pay close attention. Okay. Like the inspector, obviously there's an analogy where God's the inspector and he pays close attention. And that's not really what I'm going for here, although I think there's some validity to that. But more what I'm saying is like, when we are in the thick of stress, when there's a lot of weight on us, we can tend to do things that are uncharacteristic. We can struggle to self-level. Does that make sense what I'm saying? We can cope in some ways that maybe on some, in some ways it doesn't feel like a big deal. It's just like an inch or two. That can't be that big of a deal, but it actually could cause significant problems. And so I think that when we're in seasons of stress, when we are in a stress test, that is the time to pay close attention. All right. Does that make sense? Do you feel me there? Like, this really landed for my friend, and I just know it about myself, man. Like, I can get really loose, like if we were to put this elevator through a stress test and we weren't paying close attention, like, things could have happened. Like, there could have been the gap. The self-leveling didn't happen. Like, whatever. Maybe the doors didn't, pop open, but we weren't actually on the floor. We were just looking at the computer and it said that it opened, so fine. But no, like, I needed to be there at the floor and be like, yes, the elevator did what it was supposed to in the face of stress. And that was us paying close attention. Like, that really is the most important thing in a stress test. So I hope you feel that. I hope that makes sense to you. Me being a second pair of eyes for my dad, because like, he couldn't be in multiple places at once. Like, I know that he tried, like, all right, I'm gonna send it down 2 floors, and he's like running down the stairs that are close by to try to make it in time. And did the elevator level, like whatever, so it's always helpful to have a second pair of eyes. And this is a billboard for Tiller coaching. If you're experiencing a stress test, get another pair of eyes, get someone to help you, and don't go it alone, man, because the inspection matters. It really does. Okay. I hope that analogy helps you. I just felt really powerful to me, and it was a kind of a cool memory. I sort of wanted to humble brag that I was an elevator guy. Do you need a license for that? I wasn't part of the union, but I did it nonetheless. It's pretty cool. Well, that's what I have this time. If we can help with anything, please let us know. Appreciate you so much, and I'll see you next time. All right, see ya.